Refraction, lesson number 5, I believe. Alright, I completed the table now as we're looking. 0 angle of attack, we end up with no bending at all. 10 degrees, 24.8. Something to note here. When we go from a thick substance, like a diamond, into a thin substance, air, notice how the angle is increasing. So this angle is larger than this one. Last time we looked, it was the opposite effect. Then I tried 20 degrees, I got 55.9. And then something happened to my calculator, it broke or something, and I ended up with an undefined answer. Then I realized something's going on here. If I take a look at the angles, when I put in 10 degrees, the angle coming out was 24.8. Let me redraw that just a little bit. So when I look at this, the angle at 10 degrees, it came out at 24.8. So measuring in here, we have 24.8 degrees. When I used 20 degrees for my angle of attack, when this was steeper, 20 degrees, then this went up to 55.9 degrees. Oh, then I tried 30 degrees for my angle of attack, and I've got an error. If you notice, we can actually see there's a problem here. But what's the greatest that this angle can be? And the answer, of course, is the most it can actually be is 90 degrees. Otherwise, it'll never come out. So it seems like when I put 30 in, the angle exceeded 90, and then I ended up with an undefined answer because it doesn't make any sense to the trick. So refraction somehow broke down in this process. So the question is this: well, what angle can I actually go to and still have it refract? So the answer to that is, well, let's find out. We know that 20 is too low, and 30 is too much. So it's got to be somewhere between 20 and 30 degrees. So if I look here, the most it could actually be is 90. And the question is, what is the angle in here that's the maximum? This angle is known as the critical angle. It's the largest angle before it starts to, well, before it stops refracting. So what can I do to actually figure out the angle, the most it can be, so that it'll still refract? Well, the answer, of course, is we got to use Snell's law. So if we take our numbers here, let's put some numbers to it. N1 is still 2.42 because we're dealing with diamonds. Sine of, well, I don't know what the angle is. This is actually the question right now. What is that angle that's going to give me the 90 degrees? N2 is air, so we still have 1.0. Sine of, well, the most it's going to be is 90. And if I work backwards, we can figure out what that critical angle is. So the critical angle here, I'll leave up to you to actually calculate that number and find out what number here. Make sure the answer is above 20, but less than 30. So take a moment here, calculate what that critical angle is, and then we can move on.